I am here in Medjugorje and I'm with, what's your name?
Darla Franklin,
And where are you from?
Louisiana.
First time here?
First time.
And what did you think about Medjugorje when you heard about this? Did you want to come? You were doubting?
So Medjugorje has always been a dream of mine since I was in high school because I had heard about it and I was always curious about it, and I've always, I don't want to say had an obsession with Mary, but just loved Mary, curious about Mary. And I've always had doubts. Not that I doubted she existed, but just doubts about this place, I guess.
Okay.
And so in recent years, my prayer has become, I believe, help my unbelief.
Why so?
Because I do believe. I've been Catholic all my life, but there was a period where I stepped away from the church. And I tried other churches, but I kept coming back to the Catholic Church.
Why so?
I don't know. I've been through a lot of hard times in my life, just with my.
Yeah, I know. Me too. That's why we are where we are now, you know. I don't know if it's the same for you. That shaped us, you know.
So, growing up, my daddy was very faithful. And he lost 2 brothers young. And I just couldn't believe, all of that was happening to my grandmother. She lost 2 sons. And then at age 48, my daddy was diagnosed with cancer. And he was the one who knelt down with us at night and made sure we prayed. So when he got sick, I was like, why? Why would you let a mother lose 3 sons? One who was very devout, very faithful, prayed the Rosary. So I guess I became angry and distant from the church, from God. So then just hard times in my life, I started going back to church. My husband's not Catholic. He became Catholic after we had our 3rd child, but wasn't really practicing much. And I always wanted him to come, and family and friends said, you go and just let him follow your example. He did, and he started coming around too. So for me, when I got here, just the simpleness, the humbleness, I look back at home and how much we have and materialistic, and if I could go back and do it all over again. And my first phone call to my husband after one day was, I wish you could experience the simpleness, the humbleness, the quiet. All the busyness is not here. And you can really hear and feel what it's supposed to be.
I think it's the message from America, because the busyness.
It is. It's the, and I had an exchange student from Spain, and he told me, you Americans are spoiled. And I guess coming here, I really see that. I didn't see it as much when he was with us because
You didn't experience it?
Our lives are so busy. It's run here, run there, But in the last couple of years, my husband and I have started praying together. Our faith has become much stronger.
Did your life change when you prayed together?
Oh,
your marriage got better?
Oh, so much better, yes.
More intimate?
Really a conversion, yeah. Our marriage is much better. We were distant and at a bad place at one time. And I think prayer and going back to church and praying together.
Praying
out
together.
loud.
Out loud.
Yes.
I think that's an advice for all of us.
Yes.
Because it's intimate. Maybe sometimes ashamed what you want to pray about.
And it was very awkward at first. At first I did, and he just listened. And then gradually he started joining in. And sometimes he tells me, I'll tell him, I always, not a specific prayer, but like for our children, I'll say a certain thing about one of our children. I'm like, I always do it. Why don't you do it sometimes? And he goes, you're better at saying things than me. But then he's started saying things. So
How beautiful that process too. That's a
Yeah.
teaching for all of us. You went to confession here?
I did.
What would you tell people why not to be scared of confession? A lot of people are.
Well, I think a lot of people are worried about being judged, and just saying it out loud is hard. But once you do, and that priest tells you your sins are forgiven, it's like Amy said, it's just like a weight has been lifted and you can breathe and you just feel free. And it makes you want to do better, to keep that feeling.
Wow. And our faith states when we are in a state of grace, we can receive the Eucharist. It seems a lot of people in the Western world don't understand anymore what is the Eucharist. Can you describe your...
So
Yeah?
early on, I didn't understand what the Eucharist was. It wasn't until in the recent years that I really understood what the Eucharist was.
Explain.
Like I knew it was receiving Jesus, but just in words. Like I didn't feel that. I just went through the motions. But now I actually, when the priest is, consecrating the Eucharist, I actually say in my mind, give me your grace, give me your forgiveness, give me your mercy, give me your love, as I give you my worry, my anxiety, my fear, and my sins before I go up and take communion. And then I feel that once I receive.
That's
communion.
beautiful. And what a deal
priest-
you make there.
So
God
I
would-
went
yeah?
to a healing retreat with a priest, and the priest told us, he said, that's what you should be thinking while the priest is consecrating the host. And he said, you should be thinking he's giving you his grace, his mercy, his forgiveness. You give to him what you need to give up before you receive it. And I've been doing that ever since.
Wow. That's for good to learn for all of us. Wow. You pray the Rosary?
Every day.
Why so? What is so powerful about that prayer?
I've always prayed my grandmothers, my mother, my father, they all always prayed the Rosary. I had an Italian grandmother.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
She and my French grandmother, they both, well, she was Spanish, my father's mother. They both were big Rosary prayers. And so I saw by example, so I always prayed it. I was probably obsessed with it as a young child. And then most recently, my daughter gave a talk, and I was very proud when she said one of her best memories is that I always have a rosary under my pillow or in my hand or on my bed. I have always have, even when I didn't, even when I wasn't close to God, I always prayed
Had
that
the rosary.
Yes, even if she was just under my pillow. I might have not said it every night, but it was there.
And you did, you passed on the tradition.
Yes, and I have a little granddaughter who scared to sleep in her room.
Yeah.
So she asked me for a rosary to bring to her house because she sees me sleep with the rosary. So, and I told her it will protect her. So I said, even if you fall asleep saying it, just start it.
Wow. So
I hope I passed that on.
Yes, imagine where it came from. 2 generations
Yes.
before, your grandparents, your
Yes.
parents, you, now your children, your grandchildren.
Yes.
Wow. And what would you tell people? Why come to Medjugorje one time?
The peace is indescribable.
Yeah.
The feeling of being close to God, to Mary, it's just inexplainable. I mean, it's just such peace. You have to come and experience it. The overwhelming response to Mass here. The church is full. People are standing up. People are standing outside the doors just to hear it. Thousands of people, all in unison, responding in Mass. Back home when people respond in Mass, it's quiet, it's slow. Here, everybody's profound, and it's just a feeling that you can't describe.
Did you make the experience when you live, thy will be done in my life, that you're more in joy and more in peace instead of figuring out that you
I
need to
am.
figure
That
out?
too is something recently I started to pray for His will to be done and for me to know what that is and to truly try to accept it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, good or bad, I know that He's going to carry me through it.
You made the experience not an angry old man with the white beard, God. He's
Right.
loving. How is God the Father? You experienced Him now, I think, on a tough way, in some ways. Challenges happen.
I've had some really hard challenges in my life. Losing my father to cancer after losing two of his brothers. My son's a recovering alcoholic, so that was really hard to deal with. And then marital issues. And there were things I went through, like my daddy dying, that I thought I would never be able to live without him. And I see that God carried me through all of that, even when I thought He wasn't there. He's what got me through. So he's there. Even when you think it's the worst day of your life, He's there.
You just open up your heart. You made that
You just
experience?
open up your heart, and something too different that I've started doing since I've gotten so close to Mary is just praying from the heart. Like, sometimes I get so overwhelmed and I cry during prayer, and that's when I know I'm really praying from the heart, and not just saying. It's good to say regular prayers that you've learned, but to really speak what you feel in your heart, that's when I feel like I do my best praying. And I feel like I can do that here.
And that is the personal relationship. It's a personal relationship with Christ. You make that experience now?
It's personal, it's individual.
How can they have this relationship? You learned it. What would you tell people as an advice after all you went through?
It's hardship you can either let hardship bring you closer to God, or you can let it pull you away. And, I like to tell people you can use your circumstances as an excuse to stay down, or you can use them as a reason to go up. And I've tried to live that and use all that to get closer to God.
How powerful what you said. Wow, what can I say? Thank you for that beautiful interview.